You Become What You Think, written and published by Ngasline. The human brain, a remarkable organ weighing just about 3 pounds, processes roughly 60,000 thoughts per day. These thoughts, whether conscious or unconscious, shape our reality in profound ways through complex neurological processes. Understanding the science behind how our thoughts work provides a foundation for harnessing their power to transform our lives. Our thoughts begin as electrical impulses that travel through neural networks in our brains. When we think, billions of neurons communicate with each other through specialized connections called synapses. These neurons fire together in specific patterns, creating what neuroscientists call neural pathways. The more frequently we think certain thoughts, the stronger these neural pathways become, much like a trail that becomes more defined with repeated use. This process of strengthening neural pathways is known as neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form and reorganize synaptic connections, especially in response to learning or experience. When we repeatedly think specific thoughts or engage in particular behaviors, we reinforce these neural pathways, making them our default mode of thinking. This explains why breaking old thought patterns can be challenging, as we've literally carved these pathways into our brains through repetition. The physical responses triggered by our thoughts are equally fascinating. When we think, our brain releases neurotransmitters, chemical messengers, that influence everything from our emotions to our physical sensations. For instance, anxious thoughts trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, preparing our bodies for a fight response, or flight response. Conversely, positive thoughts stimulate the production of feel-good chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, promoting feelings of happiness and well-being. Our thoughts also influence our brain's reticular activating system, RAS, a network of neurons that filters information from our environment. The RAS acts like a gatekeeper, determining what information reaches our conscious awareness based on what we consistently think about. This explains why when we buy a new car, we suddenly notice the same model everywhere. Our thoughts have programmed our RAS to pay attention to specific information. Research in cognitive neuroscience has demonstrated that our thoughts can actually change the structure and function of our brains. Through a process called experience-dependent neuroplasticity, sustained mental practices can lead to physical changes in brain structure. Studies of long-term meditators, for example, show increased density in brain regions associated with attention, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. The relationship between thoughts and behavior is equally significant. Our thoughts create mental models of reality that influence how we interpret and respond to situations. These mental models act as filters through which we process information and make decisions. When we consistently think in certain ways, we create behavioral patterns that align with these thoughts, ultimately shaping our actions and habits. Understanding these neurological processes reveals why the phrase "you become what you think" is more than just a motivational saying. It's grounded in scientific fact. Our thoughts create real, physical changes in our brains, influence our body's chemistry, and drive our behavior. This knowledge empowers us to take control of our thought patterns and, by extension, our lives. By consciously directing our thoughts, we can literally rewire our brains, create new neural pathways, and transform our experience of reality. Understanding your current thought patterns. Our thoughts shape our reality, but before we can transform our thinking, we must first understand our current thought patterns. These patterns, developed over years of experiences, beliefs, and conditioning, operate like well-worn paths in our minds, often running on autopilot without our conscious awareness. The first step in understanding your thought patterns is developing self-awareness. This involves becoming an objective observer of your own thoughts, watching them unfold without immediate judgment or reaction. Throughout your day, take mental notes of the recurring themes in your thinking. Some people find their thoughts consistently drift toward worry about the future, while others might regularly revisit past regrets or focus on current frustrations. Pay particular attention to your emotional responses during different situations. Your feelings often serve as excellent indicators of underlying thought patterns. For instance, if you notice yourself feeling anxious before social gatherings, examine the thoughts that precede these emotions. You might discover patterns of self-doubt or assumptions about others' judgments. Identifying negative thought cycles requires honest self-reflection. These cycles often manifest as repetitive thoughts that create a downward spiral in mood and behavior. A common cycle might begin with a small setback at work, leading to thoughts of incompetence, which then generates anxiety about job security, ultimately affecting performance and creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Recognizing these cycles is crucial for breaking them. Thought triggers are specific situations, environments, or interactions that consistently spark certain thought patterns. These triggers can be external, like receiving criticism from a supervisor, or internal, like feeling tired or hungry. Understanding your personal triggers helps you anticipate and prepare for challenging thought patterns before they take hold. A powerful technique for understanding your thought patterns is maintaining a thought journal. Write down your thoughts during different situations, noting the time, place, and circumstances. Look for patterns in when and where certain types of thoughts occur. This practice helps identify both conscious and subconscious patterns that might be influencing your daily life. Consider the role of your personal history in shaping your current thought patterns. Early experiences, family dynamics, and significant life events often create deeply ingrained ways of thinking. While you can't change the past, understanding its influence on your thought patterns provides valuable context for transformation. Environmental factors also play a crucial role in your thought patterns. The media you consume, the people you spend time with, and your daily routines all influence your thinking. Notice how your thoughts shift in different environments and with different people. Some environments might foster positive, productive thoughts, while others trigger negative or limiting thinking patterns. Language patterns in your internal dialogue reveal much about your thought patterns. Notice the words you consistently use in your self-talk. Are they predominantly negative or positive? Do you use absolute terms like always or never? Your vocabulary choices often reflect deeper thought patterns and beliefs about yourself and the world. Understanding your current thought patterns is an ongoing process that requires patience and persistence. As you develop greater awareness of your thinking habits, you'll begin to see opportunities for positive change. This self-knowledge forms the foundation for all future work in transforming your thoughts and, ultimately, your life. The mind-body connection. The intricate relationship between our thoughts and physical well-being has fascinated scientists, medical professionals, and philosophers for centuries. Our minds and bodies are not separate entities, but rather deeply interconnected systems that constantly influence each other. Every thought we have triggers a cascade of biological responses throughout our body, affecting everything from our immune system to our cardiovascular health. When we experience stress-inducing thoughts, our body immediately responds by releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare us for the fight or flight response, increasing heart rate, elevating blood pressure, and tensing muscles. While this response was crucial for our ancestors' survival, chronic activation of this stress response through persistent negative thinking can lead to serious health issues, including digestive problems, weakened immunity, and cardiovascular disease. Conversely, positive thoughts and emotions trigger the release of beneficial hormones and neurotransmitters. When we think happy, peaceful thoughts, our bodies produce serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, chemicals that promote feelings of well-being, reduce pain perception, and support healing processes. This explains why individuals with optimistic thought patterns often demonstrate better recovery rates from illness and surgery compared to those with pessimistic mindsets. The power of thoughts in healing has been demonstrated through numerous studies on the placebo effect. When patients believe they are receiving effective treatment, their bodies often respond as if they had received actual medicine, showing measurable physical improvements. This phenomenon illustrates how our thoughts can literally change our body's chemistry and functioning. Our thought patterns also influence our physical behaviors and habits. People who maintain positive thoughts about exercise and healthy eating are more likely to engage in these beneficial activities. Similarly, those who believe in their body's ability to heal and maintain health often make choices that support these beliefs, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of improved well-being. Chronic pain provides another compelling example of the mind-body connection. Research shows that our thoughts and emotions can either amplify or reduce pain signals. People who catastrophize about their pain often experience more severe symptoms than those who maintain a balanced perspective. Through techniques like meditation and cognitive restructuring, individuals can learn to modify their thought patterns and significantly reduce their perception of pain. Sleep quality, another crucial aspect of physical health, is heavily influenced by our thoughts. Racing thoughts and anxiety can prevent restful sleep, while calm, peaceful thinking promotes better sleep patterns. This relationship works both ways. Poor sleep can lead to negative thinking, while positive thoughts can help establish healthy sleep cycles. The immune system is particularly responsive to our thought patterns. Studies have shown that negative thoughts and chronic stress can suppress immune function, making us more susceptible to illness. Positive thinking, on the other hand, supports immune system functioning, helping our bodies fight off disease and maintain overall health. Understanding this profound connection between mind and body opens up powerful possibilities for improving our health through thought management. By cultivating awareness of how our thoughts affect our physical well-being, we can learn to harness this connection for better health outcomes. Simple practices like deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and guided imagery can help align our thoughts with our body's natural healing processes, promoting overall wellness and vitality. Breaking negative thought cycles. Our minds can often feel like a carousel of negative thoughts, spinning endlessly and preventing us from reaching our full potential. These destructive thought patterns shape our reality and influence our daily experiences, making it crucial to understand and break free from them. Negative thought cycles typically manifest in various forms, such as catastrophizing, black and white thinking, overgeneralization, and personalizing unrelated events. Catastrophizing occurs when we automatically assume the worst possible outcome in any situation. For instance, making a small mistake at work might lead to thoughts of getting fired, becoming homeless, and never recovering. This pattern creates unnecessary anxiety and prevents us from seeing situations objectively. Black and white thinking reduces complex situations to extreme opposites, eliminating the nuanced middle ground where most of life actually occurs. When we engage in this pattern, we might view ourselves as either complete successes or total failures, with no room for growth or learning. Overgeneralization extends single negative experiences into universal patterns. After one unsuccessful presentation, we might think, "I'm terrible at public speaking and always will be." This thought pattern ignores our capacity for improvement and learning from experience. Personalizing involves assuming responsibility for events beyond our control or interpreting unrelated situations as personal attacks. If a friend doesn't immediately respond to a message, we might conclude they're angry with us when they could simply be busy. To break these negative thought cycles, we must first develop awareness of when they occur. One effective technique is the thought-stopping method, where we consciously interrupt negative thoughts by using a mental or physical cue. This might be visualizing a stop sign, saying "stop" aloud, or gently snapping a rubber band on your wrist. This interruption creates a moment of pause, allowing us to examine the thought more objectively. Once we've interrupted the negative thought, we can challenge its validity using evidence-based thinking. We ask ourselves questions like, what evidence supports this thought? What evidence contradicts it? How would I advise a friend in this situation? This analytical approach helps separate emotional reactions from rational assessment. The next step involves replacing destructive thoughts with constructive alternatives. Instead of "I'm going to fail this project," we might think, "This project is challenging, but I can break it down into manageable steps and seek help if needed." The key is to maintain realism while fostering hope and action-oriented thinking. These replacement thoughts should acknowledge difficulties while emphasizing our capability to handle them. Creating new thought patterns requires consistent practice and patience. Each time we successfully interrupt and replace a negative thought, we strengthen neural pathways supporting more constructive thinking. It's helpful to maintain a thought journal, documenting both negative patterns and successful interventions. This record provides evidence of progress and helps identify triggers and effective coping strategies. Environmental factors also influence our thought patterns. Surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive people and limiting exposure to negative influences can create a foundation for healthier thinking. This might mean setting boundaries with pessimistic individuals, curating social media feeds, or choosing uplifting content and activities. The process of breaking negative thought cycles is ongoing, and setbacks are normal. Each challenge presents an opportunity to practice these skills and strengthen our mental resilience. As we consistently work to interrupt, challenge, and replace negative thoughts, we gradually create new mental habits that support our growth and well-being. The power of positive thinking. Positive thinking represents more than just maintaining a cheerful outlook. It's a transformative mental approach that can reshape our entire life experience. Research has consistently shown that individuals who cultivate positive thought patterns experience better health outcomes, stronger relationships, and greater professional success. However, it's crucial to understand that positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. The true power of positive thinking lies in its ability to help us approach difficulties with a solution-oriented mindset rather than becoming overwhelmed by obstacles. When we consciously choose to focus on possibilities instead of problems, we activate different neural pathways in our brains that enhance our problem-solving abilities and creative thinking. This neurological shift allows us to see opportunities where others might only see roadblocks. Understanding the distinction between realistic positive thinking and toxic positivity is essential for maintaining mental health. Realistic positive thinking acknowledges challenges while maintaining hope and seeking constructive solutions. In contrast, toxic positivity involves denying or suppressing negative emotions entirely, which can be harmful to psychological well-being. The goal is to develop a balanced perspective that allows for the full range of human emotions while maintaining an overall optimistic outlook. Building optimistic thought patterns requires consistent practice and awareness. It starts with small shifts in daily thinking habits, such as reframing negative situations to identify potential benefits or learning opportunities. For instance, instead of viewing a project setback as a failure, we can choose to see it as valuable feedback that will improve our final results. This reframing process gradually becomes more natural with practice, eventually becoming our default way of processing information. The benefits of positive thinking extend far beyond emotional well-being. Studies have shown that optimistic individuals tend to have stronger immune systems, lower stress levels, and better cardiovascular health. They also demonstrate greater resilience in facing life's challenges and recover more quickly from setbacks. In professional settings, positive thinkers often achieve higher levels of success because they maintain motivation and persistence in pursuing their goals, even when faced with obstacles. Creating positive thought patterns involves active engagement with our mental processes. One effective technique is the conscious replacement of negative thoughts with positive alternatives. When we catch ourselves engaging in pessimistic thinking, we can pause and deliberately choose a more constructive perspective. This practice helps establish new neural pathways that make positive thinking increasingly automatic over time. Social connections also play a crucial role in maintaining positive thinking patterns. Surrounding ourselves with optimistic individuals can reinforce our own positive mindset and provide support during challenging times. Additionally, sharing our positive outlook with others can create a ripple effect, contributing to a more uplifting environment for everyone involved. Positive thinking serves as a foundation for personal growth and achievement. By maintaining an optimistic outlook, we become more open to opportunities, more resilient in facing challenges, and more capable of achieving our goals. The power of positive thinking lies not in denying reality, but in approaching it with hope, confidence, and determination. Through consistent practice and awareness, we can harness this power to create meaningful changes in our lives and contribute positively to the world around us. Mindfulness and Thought Management. Mindfulness serves as a powerful tool in managing our thoughts and creating positive change in our lives. At its core, mindfulness is about being fully present in the current moment, observing our thoughts without judgment, and making conscious choices about which thoughts deserve our attention. This practice allows us to step back from the constant stream of thoughts flowing through our minds and gain clarity about our thinking patterns. Present moment awareness starts with recognizing that our minds often drift between past regrets and future anxieties, rarely focusing on the here and now. By anchoring our attention to the present moment through our breath, physical sensations, or environmental awareness, we can better understand and manage our thoughts. This awareness helps us identify when our mind wanders and gently bring it back to the current experience, strengthening our ability to choose our thoughts intentionally. Meditation techniques play a crucial role in developing mindfulness and thought management skills. Regular meditation practice creates space between our thoughts, allowing us to observe them as passing phenomena rather than absolute truths. Simple breathing meditation, where we focus on the sensation of breath entering and leaving our body, helps calm the mind and reduces the intensity of racing thoughts. As we become more experienced with meditation, we can incorporate more advanced techniques such as body scanning, loving, kindness, meditation, or visualization exercises. Mindful thought selection involves consciously choosing which thoughts to engage with and which to let go. This practice requires developing the ability to observe our thoughts without immediately reacting to them. When we notice a thought arising, we can pause and ask ourselves whether engaging with this thought serves our well-being and goals. This selective attention helps us break free from automatic thought patterns and create new, more beneficial ways of thinking. The practice of mindfulness also helps us recognize the transient nature of thoughts. Just as clouds pass through the sky, thoughts naturally come-go. Understanding this impermanence reduces our tendency to become attached to or identified with particular thoughts, especially negative ones. This perspective allows us to maintain emotional balance and mental clarity, even when challenging thoughts arise. Incorporating mindfulness into daily activities enhances our ability to manage thoughts throughout the day. Whether eating, walking, working, or interacting with others, we can practice being fully present and aware of our thoughts and actions. This continuous mindful awareness helps us catch negative thought patterns early and redirect our attention to more constructive thinking. The relationship between mindfulness and thought management extends to our emotional well-being. By observing our thoughts with curiosity and compassion, we develop a healthier relationship with our inner experience. This approach reduces stress, anxiety, and mental fatigue while increasing our capacity for joy, gratitude, and peaceful contemplation. Regular mindfulness practice strengthens our mental muscles, making it easier to maintain focus and clarity in challenging situations. Just as physical exercise builds bodily strength, consistent mindfulness practice develops our ability to manage thoughts effectively. This mental fitness allows us to respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and emotional intelligence. Through mindfulness and thought management, we gain the power to shape our mental landscape intentionally. Rather than being at the mercy of every thought that crosses our mind, we become skilled observers and conscious creators of our inner experience. This transformation leads to greater peace, clarity, and purpose in our daily lives. Reprogramming your mind. Our minds are remarkably adaptable, capable of forming new neural pathways throughout our lives. This process, known as neuroplasticity, means we can actively reshape our thought patterns and behaviors at any age. When we consciously direct our thoughts toward specific goals and positive outcomes, we create new neural connections that strengthen over time through repetition and focused attention. Creating new neural pathways begins with conscious awareness of our current thought patterns and a clear vision of the patterns we wish to establish. Just as a trail through a forest becomes more defined with repeated use, our thought patterns become stronger and more automatic with practice. The key lies in consistently choosing thoughts that align with our desired outcomes and repeatedly engaging in mental exercises that reinforce these new patterns. Affirmations play a crucial role in this reprogramming process. These positive present tense statements help redirect our thoughts and create new neural pathways. When crafting affirmations, use specific, emotionally engaging language that resonates with your personal goals. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be successful," say, "I am successfully growing my business and making a positive impact." The brain responds more effectively to present, tense statements, treating them as current reality rather than future possibilities. Visualization is another powerful tool for reprogramming your mind. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals, your brain activates many of the same neural pathways used during actual physical experiences. Athletes often use visualization to improve performance, and business leaders visualize successful outcomes before important meetings or presentations. The more detailed and sensory-rich your visualizations, the more effective they become in creating new neural pathways. Goal-oriented thinking requires a shift from reactive to proactive thought patterns. Instead of allowing your mind to wander aimlessly or focus on problems, direct your thoughts toward solutions and opportunities. Break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps and regularly visualize yourself completing each step successfully. This approach helps your brain create a clear roadmap for achievement and strengthens your belief in your ability to reach your objectives. The process of reprogramming your mind also involves managing your internal dialogue. Pay attention to the tone and content of your self-talk and consciously choose words that empower and encourage rather than criticize or doubt. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, immediately replace those thoughts with more constructive alternatives. Over time, this practice becomes more natural and automatic. Repetition and consistency are essential elements in successful mind reprogramming. Just as learning a new skill requires practice, creating new thought patterns demands regular reinforcement. Set aside specific times each day for affirmations and visualization exercises. Use trigger events in your daily routine as reminders to check and redirect your thoughts. For example, use your morning coffee as a cue to practice affirmations, or your evening commute as visualization time. Reprogramming your mind is a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Your brain has spent years developing its current thought patterns, and creating new ones takes time and consistent effort. Celebrate small victories along the way and maintain your commitment to the process even when progress seems slow. Each positive thought and visualization contributes to the formation of new neural pathways, bringing you closer to your desired mindset and outcomes. By actively engaging in mind reprogramming techniques, you take control of your thought patterns and, consequently, your life outcomes. The combination of affirmations, visualization, and goal-oriented thinking creates a powerful framework for personal transformation. As these new neural pathways strengthen, positive thoughts become more automatic and achieving your goals becomes more natural and effortless. Thoughts and relationships. Our thoughts profoundly influence how we interact with others and shape the quality of our relationships. The way we think about ourselves, others, and situations creates a lens through which we perceive and respond to social interactions. This mental framework determines our behavior, emotional responses, and ultimately, the depth and quality of our connections with others. Consider how your thoughts about someone color your interactions with them. If you harbor negative thoughts about a colleague, you might interpret their actions with suspicion or hostility, leading to strained communications and missed opportunities for collaboration. Conversely, when you maintain positive thoughts about someone, you're more likely to give them the benefit of the doubt, respond with kindness, and build stronger bonds. Communication patterns are directly linked to our thought processes. When we think clearly and positively, we tend to express ourselves more effectively. Our words become more precise, our tone more constructive, and our body language more open and inviting. This alignment between positive thoughts and communication creates an environment where meaningful connections can flourish. Relationships also benefit from mindful thought management during conflicts. When disagreements arise, our immediate thoughts often drive our reactions. By consciously choosing thoughts that promote understanding and empathy, we can transform potentially destructive confrontations into opportunities for growth and deeper connection. Instead of thinking, "They're doing this to hurt me," we can shift to, "They might be struggling with something I don't understand." Our self-directed thoughts significantly impact our relationships as well. The way we think about ourselves influences how we allow others to treat us and what we believe we deserve in relationships. People who maintain healthy, self-affirming thoughts tend to attract and maintain healthier relationships. They set appropriate boundaries, communicate their needs effectively, and approach relationships from a place of self-worth rather than desperation or fear. Trust in relationships is heavily influenced by our thought patterns. When we consistently think trustworthy thoughts about others, we're more likely to behave in ways that inspire trust in return. This creates a positive feedback loop where trust-based thoughts lead to trust, building behaviors, which then reinforce positive thoughts about the relationship. Social anxiety and relationship fears often stem from negative thought patterns. By identifying and adjusting these thoughts, we can create more comfortable and authentic social interactions. Instead of thinking, "They won't like me," we can choose thoughts like, "I have valuable things to contribute to this interaction." Professional relationships also benefit from conscious thought management. When we think of colleagues as allies rather than competitors, we create collaborative environments that benefit everyone. Leadership becomes more effective when we think of team members as capable individuals worthy of trust and respect. The transformation of relationships through thought management requires practice and patience. It involves regularly examining our thoughts about others and consciously choosing more constructive perspectives. As we develop this skill, we notice improvements in all our relationships, from casual acquaintances to intimate partnerships. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to practice better thinking and create stronger connections. By maintaining awareness of our thoughts and their impact on our relationships, we can continuously improve our social interactions and build more meaningful, lasting bonds with others. Professional success through thought management. The relationship between our thoughts and professional success is profound and undeniable. Our mental approach to work, career advancement, and leadership fundamentally shapes our outcomes in the professional sphere. The way we think about our capabilities, challenges, and opportunities directly influences our performance and the decisions we make in our professional lives. A success-oriented mindset begins with understanding that professional achievement is not merely about skills and experience, but about our thought patterns regarding work and success. When we approach our career with thoughts of possibility and growth, we naturally seek out opportunities for advancement and take calculated risks that can lead to breakthrough moments. This mindset allows us to view challenges as learning experiences rather than insurmountable obstacles. Leadership thinking is another crucial aspect of professional success. Whether you currently hold a leadership position or aspire to one, developing a leadership mindset is essential. This involves thinking beyond your immediate tasks and considering the bigger picture, including team dynamics, organizational goals, and long-term strategy. Leaders who cultivate thoughts of innovation, collaboration, and growth create environments where both they and their teams can thrive. Decision-making in the professional realm is heavily influenced by our thought processes. When we approach decisions with clarity and strategic thinking, we're more likely to make choices that benefit our career trajectory. This includes everything from daily operational decisions to major career moves. By maintaining thoughts focused on our professional goals and values, we can make decisions that align with our long-term objectives rather than just immediate gratification. Professional relationships also benefit from managed thinking. When we consciously direct our thoughts toward understanding others' perspectives and finding win-win solutions, we build stronger professional networks. This includes thinking about how we can add value to others' professional lives, rather than just focusing on what we can gain from relationships. Career advancement often requires pushing beyond our comfort zone, and our thoughts play a crucial role in this process. When we think in terms of growth and possibility, we're more likely to take on challenging projects, speak up in meetings, and put ourselves forward for promotions. These thoughts of capability and potential become self-fulfilling prophecies as we act on them. Time management and productivity are also deeply connected to our thought patterns. When we think about time as a valuable resource to be invested wisely, we naturally become more productive. This involves thoughts about prioritization, efficiency, and the importance of maintaining work-life balance. By thinking strategically about how we use our time, we can accomplish more while avoiding burnout. Professional success also requires resilient thinking in the face of setbacks. Every career path has its obstacles, but those who maintain thoughts of perseverance and adaptability are better equipped to overcome these challenges. This includes thinking about failures as temporary and learning opportunities, rather than permanent reflections of our capabilities. Innovation and creativity in the workplace stem from open and flexible thinking patterns. When we allow ourselves to think beyond conventional solutions and challenge established norms, we become valuable assets to our organizations. This type of thinking leads to process improvements, new product ideas, and better ways of serving customers or clients. The path to professional success is paved with intentional thoughts about growth, leadership, and value creation. By consciously managing our thoughts about our work, capabilities, and professional relationships, we create the mental foundation necessary for career advancement and satisfaction. Our professional success is ultimately a reflection of our sustained patterns of thought about work, achievement, and personal development. Overcoming limiting beliefs. Our beliefs shape our reality more profoundly than most people realize. These deeply ingrained thought patterns act as the foundation for our decisions, actions, and ultimately, our life outcomes. Limiting beliefs are those silent saboteurs that whisper you can't, or you're not good enough in the darkest corners of our minds. These beliefs often take root in early childhood experiences, cultural conditioning, or past failures, creating invisible barriers that hold us back from reaching our true potential. Understanding the nature of limiting beliefs is the first step toward overcoming them. These beliefs aren't facts. They're interpretations of experiences that we've accepted as truth. For instance, if you struggled with public speaking in school, you might carry the belief that you're not good at communication. This belief then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, causing you to avoid speaking opportunities and preventing you from developing this crucial skill. The process of identifying limiting beliefs requires honest self-reflection. Listen to your inner dialogue when faced with challenges or opportunities. Pay attention to phrases like, "I could never do that." "That's not for people like me," or "I always mess things up." These statements reveal the limiting beliefs that are controlling your decisions and behaviors. Write them down as you notice them, creating a tangible record of the thoughts that need challenging. Challenging these beliefs involves questioning their validity with evidence and logic. For each limiting belief you identify, ask yourself, what evidence supports this belief? What evidence contradicts it? Often, you'll find that these beliefs are based on isolated incidents or outdated information rather than current reality. For example, if you believe you're bad at learning new skills, remind yourself of all the things you've successfully learned throughout your life, from riding a bike to using a smartphone. Creating empowering beliefs requires deliberate effort and practice. Start by reframing limiting beliefs into questions or possibilities. Instead of, "I'm too old to start a new career," try, "How can I use my life experience to excel in a new field?" This simple shift opens your mind to possibilities rather than focusing on perceived limitations. Develop alternative beliefs that serve your growth and align with your goals. These new beliefs should be realistic, yet optimistic, grounded in possibility rather than limitation. The power of evidence-based confidence building cannot be overstated. Each time you push past a limiting belief and achieve something you thought impossible, you create concrete evidence that challenges your old belief system. Document these victories, no matter how small. Each success becomes ammunition against future self-doubt and strengthens your new, empowering beliefs. Language plays a crucial role in this transformation process. The words we use, both in our internal dialogue and external communication, reinforce our beliefs. Replace phrases like "I can't" with "I'm learning to" or "I haven't yet." This subtle shift in language creates space for growth and possibility. Practice speaking about yourself and your capabilities in ways that reflect your desired beliefs rather than your current limitations. Overcoming limiting beliefs is not about denying reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about recognizing that many of our perceived limitations are self-imposed and can be overcome with the right mindset and approach. As you work to identify, challenge, and replace limiting beliefs, you'll discover that your potential is far greater than you previously imagined. This journey of belief transformation is ongoing, requiring patience, persistence, and self-compassion. Each step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to living a life unrestricted by self-imposed limitations. Maintaining mental resilience. Mental resilience is the cornerstone of personal growth and sustained positive thinking. It's the ability to bounce back from adversity, adapt to change, and keep moving forward despite obstacles. Building emotional strength starts with understanding that resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties, but developing the capacity to handle them effectively. The foundation of mental resilience lies in accepting that challenges are a natural part of life. When we embrace this truth, we can approach difficulties with a growth mindset rather than viewing them as insurmountable barriers. This perspective shift allows us to see setbacks as temporary situations rather than permanent conditions, enabling us to maintain hope and optimism even in trying times. Developing mental toughness requires consistent practice and dedication. It begins with small daily habits that gradually strengthen our emotional core. These habits include maintaining regular sleep patterns, engaging in physical exercise, and practicing stress management techniques. Each time we face a minor challenge and overcome it, we build confidence in our ability to handle larger obstacles. Emotional regulation plays a crucial role in mental resilience. Learning to acknowledge and process emotions without being overwhelmed by them is essential. This involves developing awareness of our emotional triggers and responses, then crafting healthy coping mechanisms. When we experience setbacks, allowing ourselves to feel disappointed or frustrated is natural, but we must also cultivate the ability to move through these emotions constructively. Building a support network is another vital aspect of maintaining mental resilience. Having people we can trust and confide in during difficult times provides emotional stability and different perspectives on our challenges. These relationships act as a safety net, offering encouragement and practical help when needed. However, true resilience means balancing reliance on others with developing our internal strength. Practicing self-compassion strengthens mental resilience by creating a foundation of inner security. Being kind to ourselves during struggles, rather than harsh and critical, helps maintain the emotional energy needed to persist through challenges. This includes acknowledging our efforts, celebrating small victories, and treating ourselves with the same understanding we would offer a friend facing similar difficulties. Mental toughness also involves developing a realistic optimism about the future. This means maintaining hope while acknowledging current realities and limitations. It's about believing in our ability to influence outcomes through our actions, while accepting that some factors may be beyond our control. This balanced perspective helps prevent both naive optimism and pessimistic resignation. Regular reflection and adjustment of our coping strategies ensure continued growth in mental resilience. What works during one phase of life might need modification in another. Being flexible and willing to adapt our approaches keeps our resilience fresh and effective. This might involve learning new stress management techniques, adjusting our daily routines, or seeking professional guidance when needed. Maintaining mental resilience is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. Each challenge we face provides an opportunity to strengthen our emotional muscles and refine our coping abilities. Through consistent practice and dedication to personal growth, we can build the mental toughness needed to navigate life's challenges while maintaining our well-being and forward momentum. Creating your new reality. The journey of transforming your thoughts has brought you to a pivotal moment, the creation of your new reality. All the work you've done in understanding, analyzing, and reshaping your thought patterns now culminates in implementing lasting changes that will define your future. Your transformed thinking isn't just a temporary shift. It's the foundation for a completely new way of living. Creating lasting change begins with integrating your new thought patterns into your daily routine. Just as negative thoughts once became habitual through repetition, positive thinking patterns become stronger and more natural with consistent practice. Start each day by consciously choosing your first thoughts. When you wake up, immediately direct your mind toward gratitude, possibility, and opportunity. This morning mental routine sets the tone for your entire day and gradually becomes your default way of thinking. Building sustainable positive habits requires both patience and persistence. Your brain has spent years operating under old thought patterns, and while change is possible, it requires conscious effort until new patterns become automatic. Think of it like creating a new path through a dense forest. The first few times require more effort, but with each passing day, the path becomes clearer and easier to follow. Your new thought patterns work the same way, becoming more natural and requiring less conscious effort over time. Measuring progress in thought transformation can be subtle but profound. Notice how you respond differently to challenges that once triggered negative thought spirals. Observe the quality of your relationships improving as your more positive outlook influences your interactions. Pay attention to opportunities you now recognize that you might have missed before. These changes, though sometimes small, compound over time to create significant transformation in your life. The physical world around you will begin to reflect your internal changes. As your thoughts become more positive and solution-focused, you'll find yourself taking different actions, making different choices, and attracting different experiences. Your environment will naturally begin to align with your new mental state. You might notice changes in your living space, your career trajectory, or your social circle as your new thought patterns manifest in tangible ways. Celebration plays a crucial role in cementing your new reality. Acknowledge and appreciate every positive change, no matter how small. When you catch yourself automatically responding with optimism instead of pessimism, celebrate that victory. When you navigate a challenging situation with your new thought tools, recognize that achievement. These celebrations reinforce your new patterns and create positive associations that strengthen your commitment to continued growth. Your new reality is dynamic and ever evolving. As you continue to refine and strengthen your thought patterns, you'll discover new areas for growth and development. Each success builds upon the last, creating an upward spiral of positive change. Your transformed thought patterns become the lens through which you view and interact with the world, continuously creating new opportunities for growth and achievement. Creating your new reality is an ongoing process. Each day presents fresh opportunities to choose thoughts that serve your highest good and align with your desired future. Your thoughts remain the most powerful tool you possess for shaping your experience of life. By consistently choosing thoughts that empower, inspire, and elevate, you continue to create a reality that reflects your highest potential and deepest aspirations.